Hey guys, it's Brian at Sign Me Up Designs again, and today I'm going to bring you a little bit different style of a video. Today is Saturday, January 30th, 2021. The pandemic has been around for about a year now, and small businesses like myself have certainly felt the strain of local lockdowns, supply shortages, and the like. For instance, I had a local client inquire about 8 sandwich boards to use for a local event house, and he requested the use of reflective red vinyl. I looked through several suppliers and had to settle with a vinyl that was double the price of my normal reflective rolls. I had to mark the job up way more than I usually would, and unfortunately the client was only able to afford 2 signs, not the original 8. Again, the strains of a global pandemic. So that got me thinking, what if I could take a regular intermediate sign vinyl and somehow make it reflective? And that's what today's video is going to be about. Full disclosure, this video is being made for fun only. I won't ever be replacing my engineer grade reflective vinyl with this method. I'm simply asking the question, can it be done? So I did a quick Google search for reflective spray, and the first product I found was this Rust-Oleum reflective finish that I picked up from a local boat supply company called West Marine for about $12.50. And this other product I picked up called Type S reflective spray I picked up from a local Advanced Auto Parts for about $18.35. So this one was cool because it actually shows this product being used on some vinyl decals on the side of a vehicle. So today's goal is to see if either of these two products will work on a regular Oracal 651 vinyl and how the results are going to be compared to an actual reflective vinyl from 3M. Alright, so this is going to be the regular red vinyl we're going to use. It's actually a brand called Brightline, and this is going to be our actual reflective vinyl. It is a 3M Scotchlite reflective graphic film. This is going to kind of be our control piece, if you will. This will be the actual reflective vinyl. I'm going to weed it first, and then I'm going to spray the reflective spray on it, and then we'll go ahead and transfer it over to these just corrugated plastic blanks. Quick piece of advice on this reflective vinyl. If you guys ever do lay some reflective vinyl onto like a vehicle or something like that, always want to make sure that you put some sort of layer underneath it. And this is why. You see how kind of brittle this is? I'm going to try to do this one-handed. You see how brittle it is? And it tends to tear very easily when you're weeding it. Well, the same thing kind of happens if you ever need to go to take this stuff off. If you've ever tried to take the decals off of like a police vehicle or an ambulance, you know what I'm talking about. But if you put a layer of, even if it's just black or white, you know, with a small little shadow layer around it, you can very easily peel it all up in one piece versus, you know, picking this stuff apart, you know, piece by piece. Just a quick tip for the future if you guys ever put some reflective vinyl onto something. Alright, so we're out here in the old heat transfer shed. So this is just an old piece of drywall I had laying around just to kind of keep the reflective spray from off my work table here. But make sure if you guys do this, you're in a well-ventilated area. I've got the door open to the shed, and I'm going to leave the door open whenever I get this stuff sprayed on there too. So there's not going to really be much science to this. I'm basically just going to take some of the reflective spray, and I'm going to maybe layer it 2 or 3 times. I want to see what it looks like whenever it's done, and then I'm just going to let it set up for a few hours, make sure everything's nice and dry. It's kind of cold outside today, so a little bit more time to let it kind of bond to this vinyl here. So here we go. And wouldn't you know it, I forgot to press the record button. I'm a terrible YouTuber. Sorry about that. But as you can see, these are the test pieces I have sprayed out. I did 3 coats each on the Type S and on the Rust-Oleum. And here is the 3M reflective, just to kind of give it a little bit of a, you know, comparison, like a pre-test comparison, not in the dark. And you can kind of see that like the reflectivity of the 3M is just a little bit better. But I think once we isolate the letters from the actual whole sheet that's been sprayed here, it might look a little bit better. And you can kind of see a little bit in the Rust-Oleum and maybe a little bit in the Type S too. This is a really bright streamlight flashlight. I'm going to try to hit this, you know, just a little bit to see if it kind of has any reflectivity. You can kind of see the 3M has a little bit of reflectivity, and you know, I guess these do a little bit too. So I'm really curious to see what this looks like at nighttime with the headlights on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these all sit for a little bit, let the spray kind of bond to the vinyl. I'm going to use the lowest tack transfer tape that I can find just to make sure that I don't peel any of the reflectivity off of the vinyl. I may still do it, but we'll see. So I'm going to let this set up for a little while, and then we'll get back to it. Alright, so let these things set up for a couple hours, and I'll be honest with you, it's not looking too good as far as transferring these things with transfer tape. This Type S was advertised as it being peelable, which you can definitely tell it is. I feel like this is more of like almost like a plasti dip type coating. However, what I'm going to do, just for the sake of this test, is and for you guys, I am going to take each letter off letter by letter, and without using transfer tape, and then put them onto the corrugated plastic sheets. I'm going to do that with the Rust-Oleum and the Type S. Also, one thing I've noticed as well, if I put a little bit of light on there, this Rust-Oleum is pretty much non-reflective at all. Like it's just almost turning into a dull look to it. The Type S still has a little bit of reflectivity to it, but I don't know, this Rust-Oleum doesn't look too well. This is just the initial thought, compared to the 3M. That's got really good reflectivity, obviously. But that's just my initial thought. So we're still going to run this test all the way through. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and transfer each one of these pieces over letter by letter. Well, I'll be honest, this is not too bad. So here's the two pieces we have here. And for transferring these things letter by letter, I'm really impressed with how I did with this. And I can actually save a lot of money on transfer tape now that I know I can do it this way. Obviously, I'm kidding. I would never do that. This is just for a test and just kind of a fun little thing here. So anyway, I also got to thinking, I want to do, this is the Type S and Rust-Oleum. That's going to be for the 3M. I got to thinking too, I should probably do just a regular red, just like a non-reflective red before we sprayed it on this, just to kind of compare that as well. We'll call that the non-reflective control. So we'll get that cut out and then we'll get these things tested. Here's our 4 test pieces ready to roll. We've got the Rust-Oleum reflective spray, the Type S reflective spray, the non-reflective test piece, and the 3M reflective. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Which one do you think is going to perform the best? I know what my opinion is. It's probably going to be the 3M, obviously. But okay, out of these two, reflective, Rust-Oleum or Type S, just the spray reflectives, which one do you think is going to be better? Leave your comments down below. All right, guys, we got our 4 pieces set up here. Starting with the non-reflective, the Type S, the Rust-Oleum, and then the 3M reflect. So it's almost dusk, I guess. It's not quite totally dark. So we'll do another test here when it gets fully dark. But for now, I got this streamlight here, and I want to kind of get just an idea of what these things look like. We're not really seeing much reflectivity out of these. Even the spray ones here, I think the only one really getting some reflectivity out of is a 3M. Obviously, that's the actual reflective vinyl, so man, I just don't know. I'm not impressed. I'm really not impressed. Let's try a direct light test. So there's a non-reflective, there's a Type S, the Rust-Oleum, and the 3M reflect. The only thing I can kind of see is it almost looks a little textured. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's almost like it's textured. I don't know, it's almost glittery, but it's not really reflective, at least not like the 3M reflect is. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that these sprays are not a very good alternative to an actual reflective vinyl. But just for test purposes' sakes, I want to come back out here when it's totally dark outside too and see if that makes any kind of difference at all. Alright, it is all the way dark out here now. We're back right up here, you probably can't even see them, but we're back right up to the test pieces. Got my light, and yep, pretty much the same results. I guess, I don't know, what do y'all think? The 2 middle pieces kind of maybe have a little bit of reflectivity, but nah, I just don't think so. I think the 3M's the only one that's really doing anything. Let me try the dimness on the white, see if that helps. Alright, we got it all the way dim, and just want to kind of like emulate headlights maybe. I don't know, I feel like the 3M's the only one. Let's try a different angle. Nope, 3M's the only one that's showing any kind of reflectivity. It's surprising, I just can't believe it. But I'm not giving up. We're try one more thing before we round this test up. So in theory, both of these signs, regardless of the vinyl, should be reflective if this stuff is what it says it is, a reflective spray coating. So let's give it a few minutes to set up and then see what happens. Alright, so maybe I'm trying to be optimistic here, but I see a little bit of reflectivity with the Rust-Oleum, at least as far as an all-over coverage. Put your answers down in the comments. What do y'all think? Am I just seeing stuff, or do I want it to really work, but it's not? I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. That spray will never replace a reflective vinyl, ever. So here's my overall opinion about these reflective sprays. Will they ever replace reflective vinyl? No. Will I ever use them in a pinch? Absolutely not. Will I ever use them again for anything? That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short test video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, leave a comment down in the comment section. If you like this video even just a little bit, please consider giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. If you want to support what I do here, please consider going to our eBay store where you can pick up decals for less than $5 including shipping. You can follow the links on signmeupdesigns.net. So thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.